How is the Chinese mafia connected to the top of the Chinese Communist Party? What are the triads and how do they differ from the familiar Western gangs? Today we will tell you how Chinese triads originated, what they represent, and if you watch the video until the end, you will learn about the largest and most dangerous Chinese organization that exists to this day. But let's take it step by step. How did the triads originate? The Chinese mafia, or as they call it the triads, spread across the country in the 17th century during the Ming dynasty. It was forcibly overthrown and replaced by the subsequent Qing dynasty. Attempts to restore the former Ming rulers were made by Buddhist monks, but their actions were quickly exposed and the conspirators were executed. Surprisingly, 5 monks managed to survive. This is where it all began. These 5 monks pledged to each other and of course to higher powers that they would not let this go. Afterward, they created a secret organization, the main goal of which was revenge and overthrowing the representatives of the new dynasty. However, very quickly, this noble alliance turned into a full-fledged mafia syndicate. So how is the Chinese mafia structured today? It is known that the Chinese are characterized by their discipline, and the Chinese criminal world is no exception. The structure of their mafia is clear. Each member has specific responsibilities. The leader oversees everything, issues and of course events. The deputies usually handle finances. The head of the operations department organizes combat operations and is responsible for their execution. Robberies and special missions are entrusted to the enforcers. Furthermore, each member has their own number, which can represent both their position and importance within the clan. Typically, triad members come from the working class without higher education. However, it's worth mentioning that entering a triad as a complete outsider is virtually impossible. An aspiring member must have the support of at least 2 or 3 gang members and possess valuable skills. An important condition for admission into the group is passing an exam on knowledge of special signals and symbols, as well as undergoing an initiation ritual. This ritual includes an on-site test. For example, taking blows to the back with the flat side of a sword. Each gang has its own conditions, and carrying out a real assignment. Sometimes a newcomer might be ordered to kill someone who obstructs the gang. An initiate only reaches an adequate level of professionalism after 3 years, and even then, only if they have diligently fulfilled their assigned tasks. What dangerous gangs exist in China today? Now let's talk about the dangerous gangs in China today. The 14K Association. The 14K is a mafia clan founded in the 1940s to fight against the communists. When the war was lost 5 years later, its members began looking for ways to make a living. Eventually, they settled in Hong Kong and focused on the drug trade. The organization got its name from the number of founders, which was 14. Some believe that the number 14 is related to the address of their original headquarters in Guangzhou. As of 2010, the 14K had around 20,000 members spread across 30 countries in East Asia and Western Europe. While it's a sizable triad, it lacks organization and unity in its actions. The 14K consists of several street gangs, and their leaders often do not collaborate with each other. When they do collaborate, it often results in clashes. Nevertheless, it remains quite dangerous. Some of the most prominent crimes committed by this triad include the contract killing of an Asian authority in Amsterdam in 1975 and the abduction of a Chinese family in New Zealand in 2008. Today, the organization is actively operating in the Kowloon and Hong Kong Island areas, specifically in Yau Ma Tei, Sham Shui Po, Mong Kok, and Wan Chai. In some areas, it competes with the San Yi On. Speaking of which, this gang is next on our list. Suyuan, San Yi On. The Suyuan or San Yi On triad is the largest Chinese triad with over 40,000 members. Leveraging extensive corrupt ties with local officials, San Yi On is involved in smuggling, prostitution, and oversees the immigration of compatriots to Europe. The gang was founded in Hong Kong in 1919 by a native of Chaozhou, Heng Qin. In the 1950s, he was deported to Taiwan, but continued to lead his organization from there. After the founder's death, leadership of this triad passed to his eldest son, Heng Waimu, who had a legal education and managed to further consolidate the group. In February 1986, A former policeman, Anthony Chang, who had become a member of San Yi-on, sought police protection in Hong Kong and agreed to testify against Heng Wai-mu. His testimony led to the arrest of 11 gangsters in April 1987, and during a search at Wai-mu's law firm, a list of 900 San Yi-on members was discovered. In October 1987, Heng Wai-mu and 5 of his benchmen appeared in court, with Anthony Chang serving as the key witness. In January 1988, a jury found Wai-mu and his associates guilty and sentenced the San Yi-on boss to 7.5 years in prison. In August 2009, one of the bosses of San Yi-on Triad, Li Tai-lan, was killed near the Shangri-La Hotel in Hong Kong. However, despite this, the Triad has not ceased to exist. By the way, there's a branch of San Yi-on in Russia. It is believed that the mafia is concentrated in the Russian Far East, and the key to its success lies in operating only within its own compatriot community, avoiding committing crimes against the local population. This allows them to stay out of general crime statistics and remain in the shadows. Washing War. Washing War is another one of China's largest and most influential triads. This group controls the western and northern parts of the new territories: Chunwan, Western Kowloon, Yuanlong, Shumshui-Po, and Fanling. The Washing War Triad was founded in 1930 in the Shamshui-Po district and has remained active since then. By 1931, it had established a branch in Toronto's Chinatown, and by 1932, it had 15 branches in Chinese quarters worldwide. Like many other Chinese criminal organizations, Washing War is characterized by strict discipline within the group. Thanks to this, during World War II, the gang members managed to establish common ground with Japanese occupiers, including collaboration with their enforcers, which later turned into mutually beneficial cooperation. After the war, due to an influx of Chinese refugees into Hong Kong, the number of Washing War members grew from 5,000 to 70,000 people. In the second half of the 1990s, the Hong Kong wing of the group was divided into 6 subgroups and included about 500 armed militants based in the new territories. In 2020, an attempt was made to shoot one of the members of the group while he was in a car. According to the police, the assassination attempt was likely motivated by another money dispute or issues related to smuggling. In any case, the attempt was not very successful, as the assailant fled and the victim managed to reach the hospital. Shuifeng. Shuifeng is a major triad based in Hong Kong with interests in Macau and southern China. Among the gang's main activities are extortion, car theft, and underground betting. In the late 1990s, Shuifeng had around 30,000 members. The exact size of the gang today is unknown, but rough estimates suggest it exceeds 30,000. This group was founded back in 1934 from a union of employees of the Connaught Aerated Water Company Limited, a Hong Kong soft drink company. Over time, the organization transformed into one of the most influential triads in the enclave. It is also one of the 4 largest groups in Macau, alongside 14K, Datuan, and Washin. In the 1990s, Shuifeng was involved in a struggle for control over Macau's casinos, collaborating with the local leader of 14K, Wan Kuok-ko, the gang members. In the 2000s, the triad fought with competitors from Washing War. As of today, the criminal community operates in the shadows but continues its activities. Gang of Four. The infamous Gang of Four included Zhang Qing, Zhang Chunqiao, Yao Wenyan, and Wang Hongwen. During the Cultural Revolution, this quartet gained the trust of Mao Zedong and assumed top leadership positions in the central government. In 1973, they became part of the Politburo and formed the Gang of Four. Mao Zedong, on one hand, supported and approved of their activities, to a large extent for the successful implementation of the Cultural Revolution. However, on the other hand, he understood their sinister intentions. Therefore, he soon began to criticize the Gang of Four. After the death of Mao Zedong on September 9, 1976, the 4 associates intensified their struggle for supreme power in the party and the country. Their conspiracies had long instilled fear in all party leaders, including influential figures like Ye Zhenying, Li Shanyan, and Shen Yun, among many others. They closely monitored developments and, through various channels, maintained contact to discuss how to influence the critical situation and resolve the Gang of Four issue. Thus, Hu Yaobang, the first deputy chairman of the Chinese Communist Party, together with colleagues, took decisive measures. On the evening of October 6th, he separately announced the start of an investigation. After the meeting, where participants unanimously supported Hu Yaobang's initiative, necessary measures were taken to address important issues related to the fate of the group. It was decided to proceed with arrests. However, this was not so simple because upon learning of the government's plan, the Gang of Four initiated a planned armed uprising. The exposure of the Gang of Four lasted quite a long time. Eventually, in 1981, the four deposed leaders were subjected to a public trial and sentenced for anti-party activities. During the trial, Zhang Qing tried to resist in every way, loudly protested, and burst into tears. She was the only member of the gang who attempted to defend herself. Her main argument was that she always followed Mao Zedong's orders. As a result of the trial, Zhang Qing and Zhang Chenchao were sentenced to death, but their punishment was later commuted to life imprisonment. Wang Hongwang was also sentenced to life imprisonment, and Yao Wenyuan received a 20-year prison term. Subsequently, all members of the group were released. They are no longer alive today. However, let's return to modern China. Now let's discuss the last and most dangerous Chinese criminal organization we promised to tell you about. Bamboo Union. The Bamboo Union is considered one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. It is also the most influential group in Taiwan, operating both on the island and in mainland China. It has influence in Asia, Europe, and America. At the origins of organized crime in Taiwan were the sons of soldiers and officers of Chiang Kai-shek's army, who were expelled from mainland China by the communists. In October 2008, an alliance of independent sovereign states in Southeast Asia was created, including Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Bhutan, and Myanmar, officially named the Bamboo Union. Initially, the gang engaged in typical activities for Chinese criminals, such as extortion, debt collection, contract killings, protection of prostitutes, and illegal casinos. However, they soon realized that real money came from narcotics. It was then that the organization established connections with the Golden Triangle, a region on the border of Burma, Laos, and Thailand, known for cultivating the world's best opium poppy. The leaders of the Bamboo Union displayed good diplomatic skills. They avoided war with the Triads and formed alliances with them. Unlike the Triads, they didn't position themselves outside politics. Rather, they supported close ties with the nationalists of the Kuomintang Party and shared their political platform. Taiwanese authorities in response favored the patriotic mafia and created favorable conditions for them. Opium dens were allowed in Hong Kong and Taipei. Moreover, the connections between the leaders of the Bamboo Union and several high-ranking officials ensured the secrecy of this organization. The United Bamboo Union has a complex horizontal hierarchy. According to some estimates, the group consists of around 10,000 members. Its exact size is unknown, but it is believed to be led by Chen Chi-li, also known as White Wolf. The union continues to operate to this day and has 24 branches worldwide, with its membership estimated at between 10,000 and 30,000 people. That's all for now. Wishing everyone a great day and see you in the next video.